So I don't know. I mean, what do you think of the alternatives into what? I guess really, what are your thoughts on how do you deal with adult bullies, and in a situation like that?
Did you see that that girl who like tackled the kid for stealing her cell phone, or she thought he stole her cell phone
Yes, yes,
in New
yes, yes.
York, and then she's like being interviewed by Gail King, and she has a fucking hat that says like "Daddy" on it.
Yeah.
Like, really? You really think like now's the time to rock that hat? You don't have any other hats?
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
And
But at
that
this,
was that wasn't even the worst part of the
yeah.
whole thing.
No, of
But
course
yeah,
not. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. That's that whole
I
saga.
wanted to see what you thought of that one.
That was interesting. The thing is, I have mixed feelings on it, to be quite honest, because I have to think about, like, what if I was in that situation and a kid, whether they were black or of any ethnicity. Because I mean, hey, there are plenty of teenagers out there who will
True.
snatch your phone out of your fucking hand, especially if you're in a, let's face it, in a
And
metropolitan
if you
area.
genuinely thought that they had it, but
Hmm.
why? That was where the gaping hole in her story came
Hmm.
from, which was like when Gail asked her like, "What made you think it was him?" She was just like, "Oh well, I was trying to be helpful to the security by standing there and also scouting out potential suspects, and I just landed on him, and I just thought whatever." But she didn't really explain that she saw him with a cell phone or that you know what I mean? That it was just pure hunch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was it. I mean, but here's
And
the
then she
thing, though.
tackled him,
But
and he
here's
was
the
14.
but here's the thing, though. Like, imagine it was me, and it was like, let's say it was a Chinese kid, right? And same scenario played out and whatnot. Would it be right? Would it, and pretend that you didn't know me, right? And would you think that I was just like stereotyping this Chinese kid, or would you think that I was just assuming, oh, it's just some fucking young punk, what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That was saying, that caught me off guard and everything, right? Like, we have to. The thing is that the thing I don't like, and I mean, it's not that this woman was necessarily making the best case for herself, but I also wasn't somebody who immediately jumped to, oh, this is just a racist white bitch, because it's not like black people don't commit crimes. It's not as if black people don't do fucked up shit to either one another or other group of people. And so if
yeah,
somebody, and it's like, if somebody really is doing something, um, and the thing is, we live by our phones. Our phones are a big part of our daily life, right? To even go a day or two without it, um, causes a lot of inconvenience.
yeah.
So it's like
True.
to me, even though this young woman is not, in her mother, they're definitely, they
Yeah,
definitely, they
this is a good
definitely,
point. Just
they definitely come off as the type of women that believe pussy control, and maybe to a certain degree their whiteness will get them through everything in life. So it's like, yeah, I can wear a hat that says daddy when I'm being interviewed by an internationally renowned journalist. you know um
oh, it's the worst.
or going to or going or, go,
D made a
or going
comment.
to court, or going to court dressed like or going to court dressed like it's a yoga class or a Pilates class or something.
Oh,
you
you
know
did respond to D's comment. Sorry, I don't know
yeah.
why the comment section was all like
No, you're
scrolled
good.
up, and I
Oh, you're
just wanted to
good.
read D's comment, which she
Hmm.
said, "I see what you're saying. I think maybe if she admitted she was misled or made a mistake instead of saying she was." Oh, god damn it! She's talking about. I thought she was talking
Twigs,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was talking about the chick from in New York, whatever, with the cell
Oh.
phone. But the same thing applies. If she just admitted she made a mistake, yeah,
Right, that would have been
fucked
better.
up in that interview.
Right, exactly. If she would have just been like, "Hey, I just, I made a quick
Yeah,
assumption. Our phones are our lives." That's stuff that anybody can more or less empathize with. And and the thing is, me. I'm not somebody whom immediately just jumps to automatically, oh, they did something because they were racist. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's like, let's dig a little bit deeper and let's try to understand this also from a human
But
perspective. Race
her
may be
response to
you know,
that question in that interview was fucking pretty bad too, though. She was like, "Well,
yeah,
I'm just a little girl who,
yeah.
racism is like," and she tried to act like because she's young,
Hmm.
how can she be racist? And because she's not white or whatever,
Yeah.
She'd be that's more
She
what other
said.
people said.
Well, she said that
where
she's
she really fucked up though
yeah.
is when she shushed Gail King. That's where that was where she lost everybody.
Right? It's like, okay, now you're just being disrespectful, bitch. Now you got to get like,
yeah,
you know, now everybody's just turning their guns on you that would have been on your side. It reminds me of this other video. I don't know if you may have seen it. It's one of these videos of this young chick, this small chick. I don't know if she's like Asian or Latina, but you know, just a petite chick. She's in like a fast food restaurant, and she starts fighting with one of the cashiers, who seems to be like a bigger set woman, right?
Okay.
And she's fighting with her, right? So then the manager, who's also like a heavier set woman, right? She comes and separates her, and she's pushing the smaller petite girl, the customer, away, right? To try to like, you know, help protect her, help her out. And then this stupid little bitch starts swinging on the manager. So then the manager starts putting the fucking hands on her, and you know, and you know, her top's falling off and everything. It's shit. And it's just it's embarrassing. But but it's like there was somebody on your side for a moment, and you immediately fucked it up. You know.
Wow, I didn't see that. Oh, dude, let's go to another viral video. I want to get your take on the Twisted Tea fucking.
Oh, I mean that was. Oh, of course. I mean, you know,
like,
of course,
me.
Of course. Hey,
are you gonna smack me with that?
The thing I like about the video the most, the thing I respect about the video the most, is the dude who did it had a mask on, had his hoodie up.
And he was exercising patience like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you know, because
he was like, you could tell. He's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. But you're pushing me. But it's like, you know, at a certain point, that's what I love the most about it. The motherfucker was like, let me make sure like I don't go out like these other dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? And just you know keep myself exposed. It's like, nope.
His body language was like, it doesn't have to be like this.
It doesn't have to be like this. But you push this. It's one of the few moments where I feel like fighting words applies. You know, where the level where them's fighting words. Nigger is them fighting words.
Yeah.
You know, that is I will make an exception. I will make an exception.
Camera, when she's like, "Oh, you got yours, buddy." And he's like getting up off the floor, like,
and trying to walk it off and shit, and just be like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Don't act like you just didn't get concussed, motherfucker. You know.
And I'm surprised he stayed on his feet. To his credit.
Well, the thing is, the video
he hit up against the donut box, and he kind of got caught on the trash can, and then he was able to just somehow, I don't know, it was a miracle.
I mean, we didn't see the aftermath of that, you know. It's like motherfucker could have he could have got what I'm saying, we don't know the follow-up. He could have got on his feet. He could have got on his feet and then passed out again 10 seconds later after the video ended.
Concussion status.
You know.
I thought you were gonna say he could have followed homie out into the parking lot, but I was like, nah. He
probably not.
He really didn't want none after that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And he's like back in. He's like, you done?
He was immobilized. Bro, let's talk about one more viral video, a much more serious one, but it's the snow one. It's the snow driveway one. Did you see that one where the couple got shot by the neighbor because they was shoveling the snow into, I don't remember where it happened. I think it was in the Northeast, but
I heard about this.
I think it was in the Northeast, but it was basically there had been this back and forth between one neighbor. I don't know if he was a single dude, but it was just like, it was one man. he was going to his neighbors who were a couple and saying, "Hey, you're shoveling your snow onto my driveway. Like, what the fuck?" Right? Wow. And this is one of those things, while it is a genuine grievance, it's not something you can really call the police over or sue over, or you know, you can't bring in any real serious like legal body or shit, right? I don't even think if a homeowners association applies in this case, but you know, and they're being very disrespectful, and they're being very like, "Fuck you, you're not gonna do shit, you're a bitch," and everything, right? So then the dude goes inside his house, and they're still taunting him from the middle of the street and shit, right? "You're not gonna do nothing, blah blah blah." He comes out, a handgun. You can see he's holding a gun, right? He walks up, he's within like 2 feet of them, right? Aims the gun at them, right? And he must, I don't know if he's just shooting in the air or if he's purposefully missing, because he gets off 3 or 4 shots and they're still talking shit. Both of the couple is still talking shit, right? Until the 5th or 6th shot goes off, and you see the man in the couple go, and he starts running back, right, retreating into the garage. So then that man with the gun, he starts shooting the woman, and he empties the fucking clip, right? Then, hold on. So then she's laying in the middle of the street. The husband is still off camera. You can hear him screaming from the garage, and the woman's also screaming, right? Wow. And she's laying in the street bleeding. A couple other neighbors come out and check on them, right? They say, well, we'll call 911, and then they get the fuck out of there, right? That same man comes back with a bigger gun, with another gun, stands over the woman in the middle of the street and says, you should have kept your mouth shut. But you actually don't even hear the last couple words. He lets off more rounds right into her fucking head.
Oh my God.
And then he walks and approaches the man inside his own driveway and shit and fires more shots into him. And then the dude, he goes into his house and he actually ended up turning the gun on himself. He killed himself.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
I heard about this, but I saw like a headline, but I try to avoid stuff like that. I don't want to see shit like that.
Yeah. It's the first time in a long time that I've watched anything like that. Cause like I've mentioned before, I have an aversion to this shit. But
I didn't even watch the George Floyd video. I still haven't seen the George Floyd. I saw clips of it, of course.
Yeah.
But
I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see it. I mean, I saw portions of it in the beginning when he's still, alive and whatnot. Yeah. I didn't want to watch a man expire, but it was. But the thing about this particular case, and I actually I don't know if I talked about it in an IG live or I talked about it in a video. I'll share it with you after this. I talk about violence in general. I talk about different cases of violence and shit. And one of the things that I mentioned is that I'm like, so like I said, you can't go to the police. You can't really go to any type of legal body for this shit, right? And it's an immediate issue. Like ice and snow being in your driveway is an immediate issue because if you have to go or leave, that's a fucking problem, right? And it's like, how do you enforce that? Now, this does not mean that you necessarily go and shoot these people, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend that there isn't some degree of vindication in that people who are normally very disrespectful, and they're adult bullies, that couple, right? And people are trying to make them seem sympathetic, being like, oh, they had a special needs child. And I love the comedian Tim Dillon. He said that, like, hey, I bet those parents were no treat either. I don't think, maybe I don't think that child was probably getting the best experience with them anyway.
Wow. Too soon, maybe, but yeah. Ironically, when you said that, it made me think that's the only time that ice could be a fire hazard.
Ice could be oh shit, nice. Yeah. That's very good. That's very good. Ironically, yeah. But it's like on one hand, while it's like, yo, this is fucking crazy, like to escalate to that. At the same time, what else do you do about adult bullies? You know what I'm saying? Especially when it's something as urgent as having snow in the street or snow in the driveway, which poses an immediate danger, you know what I'm saying, for several different reasons.
Yeah.
I can't say what I would do in that situation. I actually just kind of wish that the dude would not have killed himself, that he actually would have, saw it through and would have explained his side of the story, and what was going on in his mind.
So yeah, he was obviously suicidal to begin with, and then he was just like, you know what? I was planning on doing this anyway. May as well take a few people out with me or something.
I don't know, because the thing is, there are cases of people who are like that, but that's not the way they function. It doesn't come from just it doesn't come from an argument that you have with neighbors who you've had issues with over a period of time. Like this wasn't just like a one-off thing. They've had neighbor beefs, for a while. And, like it's again, like I said, in talking about violence and bullying and how some people are just like, they do it as teenagers, they do it as young adults, they do it as older adults. And it's like, it's not stuff that you can exactly go to the police over or sue over. And it's not the stuff that, like, not every social media campaign to call out somebody's shitty behavior is successful. They're mostly not successful. They just come and go, right? So I don't know. I mean, what do you think of the alternatives into what? I guess really, what are your thoughts on how do you deal with adult bullies, and in a situation like that?
Yeah, I mean, mostly it's like you got to learn to walk away, but in that situation, obviously there's a gun involved. It just reminds me of all these fucking westerns I've been watching, like, and kind of what you said earlier. Like now, yeah, we can have our ideas about gun laws,
Hmm.
but to a certain extent, sometimes you just need a gun, or sometimes you wish you would have had a gun.
Yeah,
The only reason I got this shit and other airsoft guns is to almost for the illusion of protection. Like if
you're
there was
right.
ever something to happen, like
Hmm.
if you see this in the dark, or if I was to paint this tip,
Yeah,
maybe it could protect, me and mine for a brief moment.
you about to let off.
But
You're lucky that shit wasn't chambered, nigga. You about to let off a round in the house.
well, oh, the fucked up part is this thing like stops working. Like so, like
Oh yeah.
when it shoots, it like shoots two balls at the same time, and it's actually not as cool as it sounds.
Huh. Yeah, that probably also fucks up the accuracy.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of just like, meh, meh. It's like a
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got to get yes. You got to fork out a few more dollars next time, man.
well, no, it was fine when I first got it.
That's what I'm saying. Pay you. Sometimes you got to shell out more for a product that will last a bit longer.
No, it's because somebody was cocking it and they did it wrong, and then like it it jammed,
Wow.
and something on the inside must have fucked up. It's actually kind of heavy duty. Like this,
Yeah.
like I had my buddy over here who owns guns,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yeah, it feels like a gun."
Hmm.
But yeah, I do want to get some more of those things. But yeah, like back to that story, like it just makes me think of these westerns where there's like
Hmm.
shit's going down in the saloon and like who's gonna draw first, and
Hmm.
those situations are so it's such a simple concept, but
Yeah.
the reason that those moments in those movies are so suspenseful
Hmm.
is because you're putting yourself in that scenario, and you have to question, or like even like, did you see the Hateful Eight?
I did not.
Oh, you have to see the Hateful Eight, bro. Go watch that movie. I would say like it's on Netflix.
Hmm.
Probably because it's pretty long. Probably just watch the regular version. But after
Hmm.
you've watched the regular version, if you're into it enough, and if you down the line want to revisit it, or if you want to rewatch it,
Yeah.
Tarantino released an extended version where it's like broken up into 4 episodes,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like, I want to say it's like 2.5 hours long, but
Okay. So as
but
long as it's IG live.
exactly, but he cut out a lot of stuff, so they did the extended version where it's broken up into like 4 45-minute, I think. Does the math work out there? Yeah, so it's kind of like almost like a 3 hour long version.
Hmm.
But man, you haven't seen it, so I guess I should, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Well, I mean, you were
Yeah,
discussing like, I think the point you were trying to make is that like you try to put yourself in that situation or observe like, okay, who is actually going to come out? Anybody can go
yeah,
down. Anybody can go down in this situation. Is it going to be the
yeah.
quote unquote? Is it going to be the person that I identify with the most? Who is going to
Well,
do the things that
yeah,
I would agree with the most? That's basically what happens in these situations. Is the
and so
Yeah.
not only is it kill or be killed,
Hmm.
but in the Hateful Eight in particular, without ruining anything, I think I can say basically it involves Samuel L's character, and he's in a situation where it's almost like it's like a Mexican standoff.
Hmm.
But the idea that the concept that Tarantino is exploring in this situation is like the concept of self-defense. So
Hmm.
because Samuel L is black,
Right.
he's not allowed to draw first. So he has to entice this other character into drawing first so that he can claim self-defense. But
Mm.
also Jackson is playing a bounty hunter, a black bounty hunter. So it's like
Oh shit.
super complex, like, yeah, like Civil
If I'd
War
if,
era.
if I'd been bothered to actually, if I would have been bothered to actually hear the plot of that, I probably would have actually watched it.